Hi, I'm Kat Thomas, Program Director for Movin' 92.5 and Warm 106.9 in Seattle, Washington, USA. I hope you'll catch our hometown Seahawks in the big game, and welcome to the Quarter Hour with my great friend and Outback Steakhouse lover, Wade Kingsley.
Thank you, Kat Thomas. I do like an Outback Steakhouse, and go Seahawks, yes. Hey, it's time for another episode of the Quarter Hour, and today, reflecting pop culture moments. How can your show get better at delivering great news for fans? All right, last week was a big week. I mean, it was only a week ago, but gosh, entertainment and media moves pretty quickly when everyone was celebrating the surprise, shock announcement that Harry Styles not only had a new single, not only had a new album, but was also going to announce a tour. And I, like you, probably looked through all the socials and saw what radio people were up to and how they were reflecting it and what sort of stuff they were doing. And there was one piece of content that really stood out to me for a great reason. Have a listen.
We're at the Harry pop-up store. I'm going to probably do a wee in my pants. I don't even know.
Don't do that. There's hundreds of people here waiting to hear Harry. Who's excited to hear it? How excited are we?
I'm so excited. I have no words. We never get stuff like this.
We've been waiting our whole lives for this moment.
What kind of vibe are we thinking?
Maybe a bit of rock. I'm hoping for it.
I feel like it's going to be pop rock with heavy disco influence.
Yeah.
You were just one of the first 10 people in the world to hear the new Harry Styles single. Please tell us what you can.
Everything.
It was a little dance boogie song. I could see it in a little club. It needs to be in the next heated rivalry season.
Yeah.
And the creators of that content are from the Hot Hits on the Hit Network. It's Nic and Loren. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Wade. I wanted to say that for ages.
That's copyrighted by another pod, Nick. We won't talk about that.
Yes, enemy pod.
Hey, I was going to say, Loren, did you actually get to go to the bathroom after all that? There was a lot of weeing going on there.
Eventually I did. Once I'd I didn't get to hear the song. So at that day I was sort of like, I was able to keep it together. But when we were in here listening to the song for the first time all together, well, it was game on. I was just weeing everywhere.
No pads on the floor.
I'm glad you went with it. Hey, congratulations, because I know it seems pretty simple on the surface to go out and talk to listeners about, or Harry Styles fans in this case, about what they thought on their first listen. But it surprises me how many shows don't get out of the studio. So just take us back a little bit into the prep for last week. So you hear the news, there's a Harry Styles piece coming. What are you thinking at that point?
Well, initially, we weren't supposed to go down there. So it was sort of going to be Shawnee B from Today FM was going to go down there. And then Nick sent us a message at about, I think we went down there at 3.
I reckon about midday I sent a message. So I
was having a nap.
You were having a nap. We've got a few group chats that we keep in touch with the show. We've got one for everyone that works on it, from audio to digital, etc.
Yeah.
And then there's one where it's just myself, Loz, and our executive producer, Kerrod Sharp. And I texted that one and I said, guys, we need to be there. Like, it's just the easiest pop culture seas we can possibly do. We know the social numbers will be huge because everyone's going to be talking about this. You use the words Harry Styles on TikTok, it's guaranteed 100,000. And we just basically, we met Loz at work and Loz picked us up and we drove there and took mics and we were there for about 30, 40 minutes. And it was probably one of the funnest things we've done in a while.
Yeah, and because you're talking to fans who are so genuine. Like, there's talking to fans of an artist and then there's talking to fans of an artist, especially fans like Harry Styles fans, Taylor Swift fans. Those are the fans that you just really want to be honing in on and sort of like get their experiences for radio, but mainly for socials too.
You got that in mind when you're recording that? Are you thinking, now, what's going to make this sound good and what's going to make this look good? Do you have to think in 2 tracks at once, or are you kind of doing the audio first, then the social video, or vice versa?
I feel like we kind of do both at the same time. We've got an amazing digital producer, Bailey, who's got such an amazing eye for all the digital content. And then it's pretty easy for it to sort of translate over into the sound aspect as well. But I don't know, they kind of just played out as they were on air and digitally. So it kind of all just melded and just worked together.
It really was kind of a case of just, this was a content capture event, not going down to capture audio or capture video. It was going down to capture essence and vibe.
Yeah.
Our show is obviously very music focused. And I think something that we try and do differently to other shows is we're less about sort of superstar engagement and superstar moments. And we're more about connecting on an authentic human level to fans of that artist and being kind of a conduit between artist and fan. And this feels like the perfect opportunity to do that. So yeah, it was literally a case of, Shawnee B still came down, who's Today FM's workday announcer and a really good friend of ours. And what I really like is that you have other radio stations and networks that like that show will try and beat that show or beat that show. We just go down as a crew. We all bundled in the car together. We split off into teams. We went and got our content. We got back in the car together. We worked collaboratively, and we got, between Sean's videos and our videos, we're talking millions and millions of hits on social, and great audio for the radio as well, put together by our audio producer, Simon Valentine.
And we've always been very mindful when we create content, especially for our Instagram, we go, cool, we're making it. The thing we can do is link up with fan pages, things like that, to just get it out, because we're making the content and we just want it to be there for the fans in any way that it can be, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, there's some A-level artists that really you can kind of play into their big fan communities. Obviously, Taylor Swift is one, and Harry's another, and, maybe Somber even. Like, there's a few artists now that kind of are, that uber level of fandom that surrounds them and everything they do. And, it was interesting to me when the Taylor Swift tour was on last year, or the year before now. And it was so amazing that radio got out of the building. It's almost like we needed permission to get out. And all of a sudden, everyone's doing an OB from a concert. Everyone's kind of reflecting it in the week leading up to. And I'm just wondering what you think about radio in general being having a role in reflecting those pop culture moments to the fans themselves.
I think I was working at Triple M at that time, and what I loved that they did, I remember Jay Mueller coming in and saying, we can't do a pop-up. We can't, as Triple M, we can't do an OB at a Taylor Swift show, but what can we do? And they did the Triple M, like the Triple M versions of the Taylor Swift songs. And so it's like, you can't, when someone like Taylor Swift is coming, you can't escape it. It's the same thing for us. There might be an artist sometimes that isn't particularly on brand, but you've got to kind of adapt because you can't escape it. And how can we harness that star within our show or in our network too? Because Triple M and Taylor Swift completely different, but they found a way and they celebrated her still, which I love that.
I think as well, for a hit brand in 2026, if we were talking the hit brand in 2016, when Harry Styles drops a song, there's probably going to be 10 minutes per network for a chat. In 2026, he can do 4 chats globally and not do Australia and get 10 times the reach because it gets clipped up into different socials by fans and stuff. So I think the role for us in 2026 is really to find kind of the unique angle to connect to a fan and find sort of we're not going to get we're going to get the Harry Styles chat decided. That's happening. But it's rare that we will get the Taylor Swift to the world on this show. We're a huge network with huge shows, and we try to find our own way that feels good to us and feels enjoyable for us, and that we hope that connects with the fan. And I think that's the conduit we play. We're not going to be the first place that you hear a song. We're not going to be the first place that you find out that nugget of information. I think what our role is, we're content creators in 2026. We are finding an angle, which is something we've always done, obviously. But I think it's more imperative when it comes to music and pop culture moments than ever for us to find an angle. And for us, we've got a few pillars around our show that we put everything through, some filters. And the main one of those is authenticity and actual connection with audiences. And so finding that opportunity within a music moment is what we aim for every time. And it's pretty effortless and pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
That's great. Hey, Lauren, you might not have been able to do Taylor Swift from Triple M, but you can do Jay Mueller on this podcast anytime. That was really good.
It's one of her best impressions.
I do it all the time.
It comes out way too regularly.
Every time because I bring my dog Noni in quite often. And I did so at Triple M too. And Noni and Jay Mueller's, 6 foot, whatever. And Noni's he's this big. And he'd go up to Jay and crawl up his little leg. And Jay would say, "Hello, Noni," like every time. So now whenever we see Noni, Nick will be like, "Hello, Noni."
Hello, Noni. Hello, Noni. Hey, thanks for coming on and chatting about it, because I think those pop culture moments come along once in a while. I mean, they're not every week, and you'd probably say, thank God they're not every week either. But also, I think they bring some liveliness and vitality and purpose to radio, because we still go to radio for moments. And I think that sometimes is lost. People think, young people don't. And of course, they're going to social first. We're not crazy in saying that they don't do that. But for a sense of community and coming together, I think that what you're doing, even just by reflecting it on air, but going on the street, it sounds so simple and easy, but I can't begin to tell you the number of shows that don't leave a studio. And I think getting out there where the audience are in their world, I know it sounds cliche, but getting out in their world and being passionate and enthusiastic and reflecting what they're doing is excellent. So well done to both of you.
So you know what it is, Wade, that's inspired a lot of this over the last little while? It is watching content creators, independent content creators that go and buy a Rode mic, get a friend to hold their iPhone, and they generate content in a flash. There's people in Australia like Tate McGregor. There's a guy named Liam who's doing an amazing job with this stuff. Pop Sam Cam. They're agile and they just get shit done. And I think radio thinks it's been so resource starved now that you can't still have that agility to go, we can do this with a phone. We can do this with a simple Rode mic. Let's just go and see what happens. Yeah. And it's only 30, 45 minutes out of our day that then adds to that gives us a break on the show that night. Maybe we can play it twice. It's just about agility and sort of trying to think outside of the boundary a little bit of what we are expected to do as a 7 till 10 radio show.
And it's relatable. I've always wanted to be, as a radio host, and Nick's the same, I've always wanted, I don't want to be relatable. That's
who you are.
That's who I am. And I've always wanted to be that kind of person. I think there's nothing more that you can do than going out and actually speaking to people on the street. It's not beneath anyone. I just think that it takes 20 minutes and it brings so much for the audience, and it made my day too.
And as a show that's genuinely, we are so passionate about music, we're the only kind of, commercial night show that's really prioritizing independent new Australian music as well. We know how hungry people are for music. And when you go and talk to these people, it is the greatest kind of a reminder that what we do on the radio each night actually matters, and what we're doing on social every day matters, that people are genuinely connected to music. And you only had to look at all the words you were just saying about community and stuff. You only have to look at what happened on the weekend with the Hottest 100. That is not dying anytime soon. And it's a massive inspiration to, networks that have kind of gone a bit safe with music. And there's reasons for that we completely understand. But we're really lucky with this network that they give us a little bit of room to take the listener on a journey and introduce them to new music around the familiarity of the hits that they know. And I think this is just an extension of that.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Keep up the good work. Love following you and seeing what you're up to. Really enjoying the chemistry that you two have coming together as a relatively new show in radio terms, and keep up the good work. I will say, though, I've been sitting for about 10 minutes now on this glitter ball, and it's really uncomfortable, so I'm just going to move it. I don't know if you noticed.
And you've got your
Where
Love
did
on.
you pull that from?
You've got your Love on Tour shirt on as well. You are dressed up.
Lauren, I literally pulled that out of my ass. That's no joke.
Oh my God, I'm impressed. Please
we've reverted back to underwear and stuff, which I wasn't going to go there, but I did. Hey, thanks, team. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Wade. Thank you.
That's Nic and Loren from the Hot Hits. Okay, coming up next, some liner notes. All right, I've been teasing this for a little while. It's a contest only for radio people, okay? So radio people only can enter this. It's a Harry Styles contest. So all you have to do, it's really simple. I'm not going to make this too hoopy, not too many steps. Basically, you just become a P1 of the podcast. Easy to do. Go to thequarterhour.com, become a P1. P1 is our loyal listeners, and it's free until the 31st of Jan. If you're listening to this after the 31st of Jan, I'll still let you in for free, but you've got to use a code word this time, and the code word is Harry. Okay, once you're a P1, you'll get all the information there on how to enter our Harry Styles contest. But what I'm basically looking for is for you to find awesome bits of content about Harry Styles to do with his album coming out soon, or his tour announcements, or anything anyone is doing about Harry Styles over the next couple of months. And the winner will actually receive a Harry Styles vinyl and also some other merch. So have a look at that. It's for radio people only. You have to work at a radio station to win this. All the details are on thequarterhour.com. And as I said, if you go to be a P1 and it's not free, just use the code word Harry and I'll let you in for free for a short time only. What else can I tell you about as we tick down to the quarter hour? I've been talking about the Australian Audio Awards. Nothing much more to add except to let you know that the entries close soon. I didn't realise this. There's 27 categories across radio, podcasting, everywhere. You could be in independent podcasting, you could be at one of the networks or platforms. But seriously, make sure you enter and support the Australian Audio Awards. They're presented by Mumbrella, Radio Info and Radio Today, and the headline partner is Acast. Thanks to Acast for getting involved. And Steve Ahern wrote a great piece on Radio Info about the importance of the awards as well. What else can I tell you about? Oh, there's a new marketing campaign that I love. It's from Listener, which is SCA or Southern Cross Media's Listener audio on demand on-demand platform. And the name of the campaign is What Aussie Ears Want to Hear. I'll link it on my socials, but go and check it out. If you're in radio overseas, it's a great example of using ears, actual ears, in a special effects kind of way to bring home the notion that audio is varied and can travel across different ears at different times. So check out that campaign. I actually think it's a winner. All right, a couple of quick shout outs to end us off in this episode. Mike Perso from Smooth FM. Thanks, Perso, for becoming a P1. Congratulations on your recent ratings. Appreciate that. Dean Buchanan. G'day, Dino. Thank you for becoming a P1. Look forward to catching up soon. Todd Gibson. Hello. Thanks, Todd. Ben Dillon Smith. BDS. G'day. Thanks for joining. Buzz Bishop, who is in Canada. Hello, Buzz. Thanks for joining the quarter hour. And Matt Hayes-Lissack as well from the UK. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you giving us the support. Next time on the quarter hour, we're going to go back to a live episode and I'm going to talk to one of the world's best talent coaches, a guy called Steve Reynolds out of the US, and he's going to do a live Q&A with us. So I'll send you out details on the socials. Follow us on the socials so you find out when we're recording that episode live, because it's going to be great. Steve's going to talk about some things that he does when he works with talent, and I'm going to ask him some questions, and you can ask some questions too on our live Q&A. But right now, that's been the quarter hour.